Okay, what's up, y'all? Welcome to today's episode of Listening to Strangers Talk While Riding a Motorcycle. Before I get into the meat and taters of this video, this is a very precarious street. I hate this street. Let's give a good shout out and a thanks to all those folks that's buying those Insta360s. Like, seriously, I kind of wish they would tell me who you were so I could say your names and give you the proper credit for giving this brother a couple dollars. So I really appreciate that. And yeah, thanks. And if you haven't bought one, you can tell this is an obvious plug for you to go purchase an Insta360 with my link. So now to the meat and taters. Damn lights. For those of you who don't know, who haven't watched any of my videos, I don't normally talk about this too much because I like to keep my business and personal and play life kind of separate. But I am in the Air Force. Just hit my big 20. Shout out to me because that's awesome. I'm E7, which is Master Sergeant. I'm ISSM, Information System Security Manager. All these fancy titles and stuff, which is cool, but one of my most favorite things that I am called is an additional duty called a motorcycle safety rep and or rider coach for my unit, right? So I'm in charge of giving all the preseason ride briefs, all the safety stuff, mentoring and such for those who wish to be mentored by a experienced rider, as they like to call me, which is probably not the best term for me, but anywho, I take pride in passing on my skills and the skills that have been passed to me, most importantly, to newer, younger riders. And the reason I'm talking about this on this video is because I gave out my brief and did all the stuff, and we were going through some safety checks, and then somebody else from another unit happened to stop by and talk to me about some maintenance issues and some riding stuff that they were not too sure about. It's another person from another unit. I'm not even their safety rep. And it's actually a troop that I rode with before. I will post that video right there so you guys can check it out. But she talked to me last summer about going over her bike and making sure everything was good to go, giving her a couple websites and such for, gadgets, trinkets, all the gear that I like to upgrade bikes with because it makes your bike look cool, doesn't make you a better rider. Remember that. And I was like, all right, cool, just come over for a little maintenance session. We'll go over some stuff and we'll see what your bike's looking like. She brought her bike over. She was a deer in the headlights, and now this is not to down her or anything like that, but this is one of the few times where I really felt like the old dude teaching a young person something. Like, not like my daughter. I have to teach my daughter stuff because that's just life, and I'm dad. I got to keep my daughter on point. But to teach not a complete stranger, but another person I'm not related to, have no real relationship to something, was a crazy feeling. She wasn't one of my boys. We weren't just in the garage talking crap. I was literally passing on the skills that were passed to me by my buddy who taught me how to do motorcycle stuff, because just because you ride a motorcycle doesn't mean you know how to maintain or take care of it. Just like a car, just because you drive a car doesn't mean you need or you know how to change the oil or even put windshield wiper fluid in this reservoir, which would seem simple, but a lot of people don't even know where it is, right? So same thing for motorcycles. So she, from the ground up, knew almost nothing. I even asked her, hey, did you go over your T-clocks? And she looked at me like, huh? It was a lot of huh this day, right? So we started with the chain and the oil, which is the reason she was there. I told her, hey, we need your owner's manual. Didn't have it. Went online, grabbed it. Went online, grabbed the maintenance manual, just because it's free for that year bike. Some of the newer bikes you got to pay for, but Google sometimes real nice, give you the free stuff. We grabbed her manuals. We went over her chain cleaning. Had never been cleaned. Never. Not since she's owned the bike. The person who owned the bike previous to her took pretty good care of it. So it wasn't in bad shape, but it was a little scungy. Had a little scunge on it. So we cleaned the chain. I told her the importance of cleaning the chain, the importance of her X or O rings, binding, chain tension, sprocket wear, sprocket teeth, chain wear. We went over the oil change. Her oil had never been changed since she owned it. She didn't ride too much, but it was over a year, 2 years, something like that. Oil was grease, needed to be changed out. Went over torque specs. Went over her washer for her oil drain plug. We went over the torque specs for the oil filter itself and the importance of changing the oil filter, just like you change your Brita filter. You don't want to just keep using the same one. You got to get that new Brita. So we went over that. We went over her controls, lubing all the moving parts with some proper lube. Cleaning the bike, of course, is nothing huge. Lady, I'm talking. Interrupt me about no railroad. We went over the minute details of almost everything. We did a full maintenance go around. We adjusted her clutch. We changed her brake fluid. We went over the importance of the brake calipers, the brake fluid itself, its age, how gross it can be, how you lose brake effectiveness. We went over the thickness of her pads, which were pretty good. Don't need to be changed for quite a while. We got down to tires. Oh my God. Her tires were damn near less than half pressure. She's been riding around, I don't know how long. I asked her, did she check her tires? She's, I'm like, bro, come on. Like, this was one of those things where I was like, not ashamed. What do you call it? Disappointed, you know? But at the same time, I saw myself a little bit because I didn't know crap till my boys taught me. Like, literally, I will never take credit where it's undue. I didn't know nothing, zero things, right? So it was one of those days where I looked and I was like, man, I remember when I was this person that was just like making my boys shake their head at me like, bro, you need to get off the bike, go home, start over, right? So we got ourselves together. She learned some good lessons. She learned the importance of the manuals and all of that stuff. So, you know, we're going over all this, and now I'm finally going to get to the point. Trust me, I will, because I'm going to try to make this video as short as possible, because I know our attention spans are kind of wonky these days. We went over all this, and she left a wiser, more confident rider. We're going to work on some more stuff later, changing the air filter, you know, teaching her how to change the spark plugs when it comes to that, but just keeping up her normal maintenance schedule. We didn't do the coolant. We didn't have time. It was getting late, and it was getting cold, and I was done for the day pretty much. But showed her how to use a couple tools. Of course, she'll probably be back because she doesn't have the tools. I do. But it's one of those times where I was like, man, this is crazy. I'm actually teaching somebody how to do something that isn't IT related or military related. It was something that's passed on to me that I'm passed. I felt like an old wise man, like a shaman. I just needed some beads and like some feathers and shit and some incense, and I'd have been the whole deal with the little hookah skirt and everything. That'd have been really awkward, to be honest. I probably don't need that. Anyway, she wasn't on a beginner bike. She's about 5 foot something in 100. I don't know. I'm not gonna guess a female's weight because I don't want to get flamed up. But she is tiny. She's on a 2007 ZX10. Heavy bike, powerful bike, monster of a machine. Minimal to no maintenance cognizance of her motorcycle. That's a dangerous combination. So she left more confident, more safer. I said it. And more knowledgeable of her motorcycle. So if you guys are out there and you are afraid of your motorcycle, or you're afraid to ask your more experienced riders to help you out, don't be. And you experienced riders, pay it forward when you can. Don't, you know, people hate unsolicited advice and all that stuff, but throw out, hey, yo, we're doing a maintenance sesh. If you want to bring your bike over, we're going to go over all of this on Saturday or Tuesday or whatever day you deem necessary, and just offer it out. Those who show up, show up. Those who don't. And if you're the one that's needing help, ask one of your boys, hey, you mind showing me how to do these things? You got to get over that ego. Don't be afraid to ask, and use your manual. Do not visually base your bike off of somebody else's bike. We went over that too. Visual inspection's great, but she looked at her bike. Her tires looked fine. They were 17 PSI. Should have been 42 in the back, 36 in the front. 17. Yeah, they look fine. They're brand new. Wrong. Good. Unsafe. Wrong. So, I'm out. Thank you guys for watching. About to go get me some sushi, shove it in this yap hole, and buy those 360s. Laters.